Welcome everyone to Worthiness Matters, day number 13. My name is Debbie Happy Cohen. I'm the founder of Joy-Based Living, and I've been basing the first 15 days of this joy-based spirituality workout on 15 questions that I was asked that were written for me by one of our members. I really love today's question. And as always, I'm going to read it out loud, and I want to give you the opportunity to experience the question in your body. I want you to be tuned in to yourself so that while I'm sharing my own stories and my own reflections, that you have your own experience to the question and your own experience to what I'm offering, so that this becomes a co-creative experience. It becomes a joint workout, joining together workout. We're working out together. You're not working out your joints. So this is a really tough question, and it's a beautiful question. So let's see what we can engage together. The question is, how do I break the addiction of self-destruction and doubt? How do I break the addiction of self-destruction and doubt? Now, if you go to the self-help section of a bookstore, or you enter self-help in Google, a lot of answers to that question will come up. A lot. I don't recommend trying that. I'm going to offer some solutions, and what I like is practical solutions that are simplified and long-lasting. Practical solutions that are simplified and long-lasting. And so I'm going to do my best here in a very short video to answer this question in a way that can stick. If you are struggling with the answers to it, you might want to get, either a friend to help you or a professional help, because that is not a good lifestyle. Addiction, that's a big word. Addiction of self-destruction and doubt. How do I break it? Okay. So when I was reading that question prior to this this video, what came to my mind was anybody who's addicted to self-destruction and doubt is somehow living under someone else's voice, and this other person or their past, another person's voice or their past. So for example, if you've done something that you feel guilty about, or you're grieving over someone else, maybe you left a relationship and you feel really horrible because of how it ended, even though it wasn't your fault, you're still carrying around grief that doesn't belong to you, and so you feel guilty about that. Those are things that will hold you back, and then you'll keep trying to, like, I'm going to use a visual here because I'm going to bring up another metaphor. Kind of reaching down to take the shackles off, and you get so invested in taking the shackles off that you forget about looking forward, because the opposite of addiction of self-destruction and doubt is that you're looking forward toward dreams and goals and ideas and futures that have meaning to you, that make you feel alive and like life is worth living. I want you to imagine a 2-year-old who knows that there's a cookie jar up on the shelf and mom's taking a nap or something. I don't know. She's really tired because she's got a very active 2-year-old. And the kid's going for the cookie jar because that's what kids do. And in order to reach it, the kid brings over a chair and maybe then needs to put something else on top of the chair, maybe a couple of books. Like, kids are really inventive. I've never met a kid who has an addiction to self-destruction and doubt. Kids are very future focused. They know what they want in the immediate future and they go to get it. They go forward, they go forward. Now, little children at that age are also extremely, extremely, extremely self-centered, right? So we want to take the good and we want to leave the not good, right? So we want to have enough self-esteem. We want to have enough self-worth to keep facing forward and doing things for our own lives that feel healthy, that make us feel strong, that make us feel alive. that's what it means to be a healthy adult, is to do things that make you feel alive, but you're not going to mess up the house while you're doing it. Or maybe you will, but I mean, if you're going to do that, I don't want you to carry guilt with you into your future about it. If you've been in a very abusive relationship, like an emotionally abusive relationship, you're going to have to drop other baggage as well. And that includes carrying grief and guilt that actually never belonged to you to begin with, that was dumped on you in order to manipulate you. That is a very, very, very deeper conversation that I don't have time to go into now, but I want to give you the touchstone of that, because when you if you've exited a relationship like that and you got really tangled with them, and then when you left because of the entanglement with them, you might feel grief about your own self. It's such a that's the depth that a lot of people would be very afraid to touch. But if you don't let it go, it's going to keep running into your future. That software is going to keep running into your future. If you want more information about that, check out, if it's still there, hopefully it is, at YouTube, a Sam Vaknin video called Mourning Yourself. Mourning Yourself. It's complex, but it's like carrying a backpack of someone else's junk and trying to take off shackles from your ankles, right? So now you're like kind of facing down while you're trying to reach up and get the cookie jar, or trying to reach ahead and make really great things happen. One of the key indicators that you can know if you are having an addiction of self-destruction and doubt is that other people are the main focal point of your life storyline. Like, you can have 10 kids and you can still be the main character in your storyline, because you're like, I'm going to be the best mom that I can be for these kids, because that's the role I'm choosing to play here. And I'm going to love as big as I can, because that that's my choice, because that's who I want to be. So, but someone who's like trying to heal, but they keep fighting with their past, or they keep fighting with people in the workplace, in their minds. What'll happen is they'll keep finding new workplaces to have people to fight with, because somebody else always has to be the main character. Or they'll get into new relationships where all of a sudden now they're talking again about, oh my God, do you know what he did? He did this, all these good things. Then, oh my God, do you know what he did? He did blah, 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 all these negative things. Um, who's the main character in your inner storylines? Because if the main character in your inner storylines is someone else, you're going to keep self-destructing and doubting. Now, the addiction part, one of the things I love about one of my favorite teachers is Gabor Mate, who talks about healing addiction and talks about self connection. Self connection. He says that trauma is disconnection from the self, and addiction is just there to help us soothe ourselves while we're feeling the pain of disconnection. I should say that again, right? He says that trauma is disconnection from the self, because it's not what happened to you, it's how you feel about what happened to you. And it's what stayed with you. And if it's trauma, it's that you feel disconnected from yourself. And if you feel disconnected from yourself, that is so painful that you will look for ways to soothe yourself. And he says, good on you. That is a positive response. The addiction isn't, you shouldn't blame and harm yourself further by feeling guilty and horrible about your addiction. Even if your addiction is to self-destruction and doubt, you should go, oh, the self-destruction and doubt has served me to keep me small, so that I wouldn't feel my own power and then get socked in the face again by an abusive person who has been in my life for many years, or was once in my life and now I'm habituated to staying small. So the self-destruction and doubt is designed to keep you small. So if you feel guilt on your shoulders, take it off. If you have secrets that are really dark inside of you that you feel ashamed about, let them be released. Let yourself find peace with your secrets. We all have secrets. We've all done things. We've all felt things. We've all experienced things. Don't carry that with you. It's going to get in the way of you living your purpose and having meaning in your life. And let your heart be set free. Let your heart be set free. What keeps me in motion doing these videos and being so strong as a spokesperson for joy-based living is that I want your authentic self to thrive. I want your authentic self to be seen and honored. I want your authentic self to shine, because when you do that, your world will shine and your ripple effects will go stronger, grow stronger. Now, at first, when you do that, if you're hanging around people who aren't supportive, they'll want you to shrink back because they're busy trying to keep themselves small. And if you show up bigger, they're not going to like that. They're going to teach you self-destruction and self-doubt habits. But if you're surrounded by people who are supporting you, really, who are supporting your best self and your true self, your authentic self showing up, and who look at you with wonder, amazement, with kindness, with awe, with encouragement, keep those people close and encourage them back. And so that's how you create reciprocity with people. And then when you build that, as you build those relationships, as you build that sense of liveliness, as you build that sense of connection from your heart and based on your authenticity, that will that will the end result of that will be self-connection with connection with others. And that's joy-based living. Self-connection and connection with others. And so I've told you BEEE, it's a new acronym we came up with. Belongingness, experienced as, so it's not just in your head, it's experienced as embodiment and emotional literacy. And so you give yourself those gifts: belongingness, experienced as embodiment, and emotional literacy. You practice those like they are your lifeline, because they are. And you start practicing with them with other people who are doing those also. Little beehive, right? Experiencing belongingness, experienced as embodiment and emotional literacy with other people in your family, with other people who are your friends, maybe your newfound family. And you do that, and the true you will shine. The you that you feel most at home in your body and you feel most at home in the world, that will live, that will breathe, and that will grow strong. And that's how we actually create a healthier and happier world, one person at a time, that way. And my dream is for each one of you to have your own, Mario Martinez calls this a subculture of wellness, that you have your own subculture of wellness. And for some people who belong to joy-based living, who are members of joy-based living at deeper levels, like at Wholehearted Networking or at Patreon, where I engage more conversation with people, and they connect to each other, they're accepting joy-based living as a subculture of wellness for them. But for each one of them, some of them live across the world. I would want each person to have their own subculture of wellness as well. And so there's a ripple effect that happens when you get used to being comfortable in your own skin around other people and being authentic and knowing that they want you to show up as you, not just as the person who is doing the thing that you're all there to do together, but you're showing up authentically in the entire range of whatever you might be feeling. We have the feelings ladder, right? And so it's behind me, that whatever you're feeling is okay, whatever you're embodying is okay, and that you learn to communicate that. And that's how do you break the addiction of self-destruction and doubt? You don't live in a vacuum. You acknowledge that you don't live in a vacuum, and you surround yourself by people who are behaving in ways that are healthy and in ways that encourage you to also show up in a healthy and honest and authentic way. And that's what it means to be an adult, is to take responsibility for your own self-connection and for your connection with others in the realm of being fully who you are, being creative, contributing, all those things that we do here at Joy Based Living. So these questions are just so incredible. Thank you. And tomorrow's question is a great follow-up from this one. I'll tell you in advance. Tomorrow's question is, does worthiness help me find a purpose? Does worthiness help me find a purpose? The level of sincerity in these questions is off the charts. So if you have any questions or any comments, or there's anything you want me to talk about in this series of Worthiness Matters, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later, alligator.